1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Zolian Podcast. Today, I got a hot one for you. Boy, do I got a hot one for you. We may have been a little too premature last time. Things have changed. But before we begin, I just want to let you know, I had to interrupt today's regular video because this thing was too hot. I wanted to catch it while it was hot, because it will change things, how we talk about Wizards and the products that they're putting out, and how maybe you as a product, as a creator, as somebody who makes WOTC material, such as anything in the OSR realm, anything that's under the OGL realm, this may or may not affect you. This is pretty big. So yeah, I pushed back the video that originally we were gonna do, that I already had up, so you can expect that one on Monday. In the meantime, we're gonna be talking about this today. Apologies about the no camera. Something's going on with the camera today. Might have to get a new one. We'll see. I don't know what's going on with it. It's kind of a hassle. But hey, just to let you know though, if you want to help support this channel, okay, before we begin, if you want to help support this channel, please kindly consider giving a donation. It's a one-time donation, no fuss, no muss. We have lots of tiers down there, as you can see, $100, $70, $50, $25, and $10. Anything helps. Every little bit helps. The tiers are only, they're only just, there to give you a guide, So thank you again. Appreciate it. Now on to the news. So this new OGL, all right? This new OGL is kind of crazy. It significantly restricts the kind of content that's allowed, that requires anyone making money under the license to report their products to WOTC directly. Like, it's basically, you have to now report to daddy, basically, essentially, okay? It's your new boss. welcome to the new world, okay? Remember, it was only a few weeks ago we were talking about this, and we were like, WOTC is reassuring us that the OGL won't be touched. Okay, no big deal. Well, this new OGL will make the OGL an unauthorized agreement. So no new content will be permitted to be created under this original license. So there's that. And you're going to love this part. If you do not like blockchains, you don't like NFTs or anything like that, this includes it. So I don't know what people on the left are all about liking this stuff, because this thing is not, this is antithesis to what your ideals are if you're about pro-environment and you don't like blockchains and technology and all that stuff. It's pretty crazy. They're calling this OGL 1.1. It's over 9,000 words long versus the original OGL, which was 900 words long. In the OGL, it, quote, takes a strong stance against bigoted content, explicitly stating the company may terminate the agreement if third-party creators publish material that is blatantly racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, bigoted, or otherwise discriminatory, unquote. Make of that what you will. I don't know where to begin with how to address that, with how insulting that is, to presume tabletop gamers are so overwhelmingly hateful that you would need such a policy to even be created. I think that insults pretty much every gamer out there. Like, if you even touch a game, it's pretty insulting to you, in my opinion. To make things even more humorous, here's something else they said in this article, regarding it specifically from them. It's one of the biggest one of the biggest changes to the document that it updates the previous available OGL 1.0 to state that it, quote, no longer an authorized license agreement, unquote, but ending the original OGL, many licensed publishers will have to completely overhaul their products and distribution in order to comply with the updated rules. Large publishers who focus on exclusively products based on the original OGL, including Paizo, Cobalt Press, and Green Ronin, will be under pressure to update their business model incredibly fast. That means basically any of the products you like from those companies, Pathfinder, Mutants and Masterminds, things of that nature. The future is kind of up in the air for those products. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. The justification they're going on with is, quote, the OGL was always intended to allow the community to help grow D&D and expand it creatively. It wasn't intended to subsidize major competitors, unquote. So basically, they were using the OGL as a form of, R&D, PR, community growth. Basically, we were the growers. We were the people making this happen. We were the ones making this entire, product viable for them. Looks like when questioned for comment, Paizo also declined to make a comment regarding what Wizards did, only stating that it's a complicated and ongoing issue. So that's not a good sign. Chris Promise, who's the founder and president of the Green Ronin Publishing, also he noted that one of the products, Mutants and Masterminds, was published under the original OGL in 2002 and is still available for purchase today. But he hasn't seen the OGL and doesn't believe that there's any benefit for a switchover. So it sounds like to me, with regards to Green Ronin, that they're probably not going to go down the road of the new OGL. They're probably going to go down their own road. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if that's the case or if that's just, that's pure speculation on my part. So I don't know. I'm just saying that based on what he said, it seems to me that the attitude for him is going to be just kind of going their own way with it. Mutants and Masterminds, in my opinion, it rocks. I personally had fond memories of playing a variety of characters in that game. Had fun times. I highly recommend it. Not to advertise, but I would hate to see that game specifically go away. I think that one is one of the better games out there. So that would suck if that were to disappear because of this whole thing. So here's another doozy about fan created content. Let me go ahead and scroll down here for you guys real quick. Way down here. There you go. And we'll go ahead and cover that part. So one of the things that I found very interesting and kind of strange is this part where they talk about additionally, while the original OGL did not specifically outline what kind of content third-party creators could make available and profit from, the updated OGL is very specific. The updated license only allows for creation of role-playing games and supplements in printed media and static electronic file formats. It does not allow for anything else, including but not limited to things like videos, virtual tabletops or VTT campaigns, computer games, novels, apps, graphic novels, music, songs, dances, and pantomimes. Pantomimes! They want those pantomime dollars? Oh my god, that's amazing. You may engage in these activities only to the extent allowed under the Wizards of the Coast fan content policy or separately agree between you and us. The fan content policy can be read here, but in broad strokes, it allows for free content based on incorporating our IP. Fan content includes fan art, videos, podcasts, blogs, websites, streaming content, tattoos, altars to your cleric's deity, okay, etc. The leaked OGL 1.1 draft indicates that the WOTC may not give licenses a lot of the time to adjust and agree to this new policy. The document reads, if you want to publish SRD-based content on or after January 13th, 2023, so that's next week, basically. That's the countdown now. I didn't know they had a specific date. And commercialize it, your only option is to agree to the OGL commercial. IO9 source indicated that the final version of the document was originally intended for release on January 4th, which would have given companies and creators 7 business days to agree and comply. Oh my word. I think yeah, this is not to be a doom and gloomer, but this is not a good sign. Let's see what else. So they were talking about the UN. Oh my God. So yeah, this is not a good sign at all. From this whole thing, it appears that the OGL publishers will probably not have to pay WOTC, with the exception of those who are making 750K plus a year annually on one product. Now, I am gonna say this. That I think is tentative. Okay, here's why. We talked 2 weeks ago about this, saying how the OGL is protected and they're not gonna touch it. We were reassured. They reserve the right to change this. So I would not be. I would definitely not be. I would definitely not be holding this as stone. I would definitely be careful about going forward and thinking that this is being going to be held in stone. They could easily reverse this and revert into something more regressive. Like they could lower it to like 50K, assuming that none of the other people play ball. Let's say they all walk away. Let's say everybody who was doing Kickstarters about this stuff decided to retract and walk away, and they do their own thing. Now anybody who's a small creator making content that is under the OGL is gonna be under their target, their what do you call it, their iron sights, their targets. Okay, so I would be, careful so you could avoid the crosshairs in the future. That would be my personal take on that. Because one thing about mega corporations that I learned from working many years under mega corporations is that nothing is permanent. Everything is tentative, and they can and will change the rules. Do not just sit there thinking it will be this way, and they'll just honor their word. Don't look at it that way. Look at it like a more amorphous blob. Okay, so if they want to change it, they will, and they will do it for profit. They have their overlords to please. Quote. Here's another thing right here. Quote, but the new OGL states that the commercial agreement covers all commercial uses, whether they're profitable or not. So if you go into the red on Kickstarter and earn 800,000 in backing money, you will still owe Wizards of the Coast, regardless of the fact that you did not profit from your venture. Also note that if you appear to have achieved great success from producing OGL commercial content, we may reach out to you for a more custom and mutually beneficial licensing agreement. The document notes indicating that WOTC is open to creating custom contracts and agreements, but at their discretion. So it looks like they want to see if you want. It looks like they're looking at people who might be successful and try to convert them as an employee, basically. Was what it boils down to. So if you're really good at making this content for free, basically for them, right? You're making this content for free. You're making the books for yourself and for your people who are into the game, fellow gamers, and your Kickstarter does exceptionally well. Let's say it hits, I don't know, 800K, like the example says. They're gonna probably want to reach out to you. They're gonna probably, assuming you're following all their little rules, they're gonna want to reach out to you. They're gonna want to see if they can do a deal with you, and you're probably gonna be an employee, essentially, freelancing style. You know what I mean? Like a contract agreement, a special agreement, where they probably will loosen up the rules for you a little bit, but you're still gonna be under their thumb, probably even more in a way, because now you're their bread and butter. The revenue tiers are interesting to me. Let me scroll down so we could get to that part real quick. The revenue tiers are kind of, yeah, they're very interesting. The initiate tier, if you have registered at least one licensed work but haven't generated 500,000 or more in total gross revenue from OGL commercial products in a given year, you are the initiate tier. Interesting. Intermediate is the generating more than 50K in total revenue, but less than 750K. So that's probably like anybody who's generally doing good with their overall doing pretty good with their campaign. And then expert tier is everybody who's like 750 above, like critical role, those guys. I don't even know if they do that anymore. If they do more than that, I'm not sure. But yeah, it looks like they are creating these kind of like tiers to kind of give you an idea of what you're gonna owe them and what they consider, what rules and freedoms you get basically under their watch with these tiers. So it's, I don't know. I find it interesting. They want 20 to 25% of the royalties past 750K mark, but that's like basically it's 20 cents to 25 cents for every dollar that's after 750K. It looks like they don't care about the taxes though. It's purely revenue, not net profit. So that's going to cut into your budget for the project if you're successful. I would just be mindful of that. So don't get, if you are successful out there, just don't get caught out there not, doing your taxes and, get your P's and Q's all fixed up. You better know what that revenue royalty is going to be at the end of it. Here's another thing. Quote, the revenue you make from your license is in excess of, oh yeah, I mentioned that. We talked about that. So it's like 25. Yeah, so I was right. That's funny. 20% or 25%. It looks like the 20% is the Kickstarter though. If you are on Kickstarter, it looks like they somehow negotiated 5%, like that 5% lower rate. I guess that's their preferred place to make money. The quote, and I quote, the draft goes on to explain that if you make 750, that's basically my example I just mentioned. That's funny. That's how I always think. I always think of what's the $1 after? What does that do? What does it look like? Then you kind of know what, you're going to owe. This might be feasible for some, but there's more. You got to register with them like it's the DMV. And you also have to understand that when you do register with them, it's gonna be, I'll just quote this. You must register with us any new licensed work you intend to offer for sale, including a description of the licensed work. We also ask for your contact information on where you intend to publish the licensed work and its price, among other things. Creators will also be required to use a specific badge in order to publicly and obviously identify their work as covered by the updated OGL, and they will have to give WOTC a copy of the publication. So it appears WOTC will want to know where you're publishing your products, how much each platform is generating on an annual basis. This might work for some, like a more corporate entity like Paizo, but smaller creators are going to be facing a nearly impossible task handling this. This is a logistical nightmare. The constant updating of your report to WOTC for every single product is just a full-time job. Looks like I said, it looks like I was confirmed there. They do prefer Kickstarter. Quote, if creators are members of the expert tier, if your licensed work is crowdfunded or sold via any platform other than Kickstarter, you may pay a 25% royalty on qualifying revenue. And if your licensed work is crowdfunded on Kickstarter, our preferred crowdfunding platform, you will only pay 20% royalty on qualifying revenue. So looks like that's that. They also want to control what perk you offer if you do a Kickstarter project for your backers. Quote, no infringing materials are given out as perks or rewards. So I don't know if you have orc organization that's considered offensive to them, you probably won't be able to have a orc badge or something that you want to give people. I don't know. It's just a weird time that we're living in. guess you also don't have a right to choose what your not only what your backers get, but also how you package it. Apparently, so that was something I read on another website, but it's not in this article, unfortunately. So let's just hold on to that for now. I'm sure in a couple of weeks that will come up as well. As well. Speaking of rights, this right here, is, in my opinion, is highly suspect. Quote, there is no mention of perpetual worldwide rights given to creators, which was presented in Section 4 of the original OGL, and one of the caveats is that the company can modify or terminate this agreement for any reason whatsoever, provided we give 30 days notice. It gets worse, guys. Quote, the document states that for any content created under the OGL, regardless of whether or not it is owned by the creator, Wizards will have a non-exclusive, perpetual, irrevocable, worldwide sub-licensing, royalty-free license to use that content for any purpose. That part made me laugh a little bit. It's like, okay, so this is a disaster, really. This is kind of a disaster. Wizards of the Coast. I have one last final quote. The Wizards of the Coast is clearly expecting these OGL changes to be met with some resistance. The document does note that if the company oversteps, too late. They are aware that they will receive community pushback and bad PR. And we're more than open to being convinced that we made a wrong decision. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think this is a big problem. This has gotten way out of hand. In a weird way, I kind of think this is a good thing. Oh, actually, you know what? I think I just realized what was wrong with the camera. Nah, I don't. Maybe it was going. Yeah, forget it. I thought I figured something out. Never mind. I think this is kind of a good thing. The cat's out of the bag. Magic 30 taught us that we don't need official cards anymore. We can use proxies if we want to. WOTC's new OGL taught us that we don't need to kowtow to their new product. We can make our own. We design the future of gaming, guys. We lead it. We don't need to be led. We need to be our own leaders, essentially. Go our own way, carve our own path. I've talked about this before. That's the shadow pill. That's the shadow path. Do what works for you. Figure things out. We are in the shadows. We are the outskirts, the innovators, the leaders. That's what gamers are, especially those in the fantasy tabletop world, in the RPG world. Ever since we were little kids, man. Remember when you were picking up sticks and we're, pretending they were swords? We're just swinging it around, pretending it was a sword. Fun is what we make. We make it fun, okay? Fun is what we define, not what some gray blob of a megacorp tells us. Don't be blinded by that. Don't be following this whole official thing. There's no such thing as official. There's no such thing as authority anymore. It's in your hands, okay? So if you're an OSR creator, keep making product. Don't stop. Make the product you always wanted. If you're a gamer, try out some OSR games. You won't regret it. I love them. There's a plethora of interesting games out there to enjoy. I'm sure you'll find something that is up to your taste, your palate. Okay. Let me know what your thoughts on this are. Oh, I did figure this out. You see, when you keep trying, life will find a way. Give me 1 second here. Let me just do that. Let me do that, and then if I take down this now, and then I re-click on this, I bet you it will work. You see? It all comes together. It's all coming together. Sorry about that, guys. Oh my lord. This has been very enjoyable for me to read, because it's this is a breath of fresh air in a way. It's almost like a weight's been lifted. Nothing's official. You do what makes you happy. Figure out your happiness. Find the products that make you happy. You know, buy the games you want to buy, play the games you want to play. These guys can't tell you what to do. You are the one. You're the guys who design the future for yourselves as far as gaming is concerned. That's, I mean, Gary Gygax, you know, when he was making the game, he was going off on his own. He was doing his own thing. What makes this any different? You know what I mean? Just think about that. That's the future. That's why the internet is such an amazing place. You can basically make, essentially, you know, within you know, laws of physics limits, you can make anything. You know, so let me know what your thoughts on this are. You know, are you pro this Wizards change, or are you anti this change? Let me know how you feel. Thanks, guys. And I'll see you in the comments. And fly high, my friends. Don't get black pilled. Fly high. Okay. In fact, here, you know what? Here's some music for you. I want to give you some music. Let's do it. Here we go. Little send off for you. Oh, the music. I got music. I got music hooked. That's not good. Oh well. Have a great day, guys. God bless.